quite a bit. Um, so there was a lot that happened apparently over the past day or so. If you've been sleeping on a rock, there is the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. That was yesterday, actually. And there's some very big news surrounding it I want to talk about. We're going to take a look at, and I'm going to give my thoughts on, and what this can mean also for the remake part two, the sequel, as far as what we might hear this year about it, when we might hear about it this year. So I want to dive into this first here before we get into anything else. So this is on, I think, Square Enix's Twitter feed this is yesterday. So Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary message. This year marks 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. It also marks 25th anniversary 35th anniversary of Final Fantasy series itself, which means that FF7 was born in the 10th year of that 35-year-long history. Personally, I had always thought of F7 as a recent game, but it's actually now become one of the games from the early series. Even so, we were honored last year when it was voted as the third most popular game ever by games in Japanese TV poll. Nice. That we could achieve something like that is very much thanks to all the support we have had from our fans over the long years. Thank you so much. And so F7 has re-emerged as the largest game in the series once again, with titles like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier. You can look forward to even more exciting new developments in the future. So this from Katatse, the producer, and then with the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII Remake, sorry, not remake, Final Fantasy VII this year, my bad. The game has now existed for a quarter century. That's amazing. I'm truly grateful to all the fans who have loved Final Fantasy VII over the 25 years. Thanks to your support, Cloud has never felt far away over that time. Yes, that's true. Continuing on from the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier is also now open for service. And next we have Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis waiting in the wings too. For those that don't know, Ever Crisis is supposed to be like a I think it's supposed to be another mobile game, where it's sort of like in the style of like the sort of original turn-based FF7, but with a little bit of updated visuals, like not on the level of FF7 Remake, but I think it's supposed to be like on Android and iOS like that. Coming out later this year, and it's supposed to like have like certain chapters added to it to take you through the entire F7 storyline. So still not sure how that's all going to work out and when they're going to drop anything like that, but it's supposed to be later this year. With all these exciting new projects, I got a real sense of how more and more people are supporting FF7, not just the fans from the original game, but also those who never experienced it are being drawn to the unique world of FF7. That's very true. And there will be even more even more new FF7 projects that start up after the remake coming in the future too. Wow. The team see the 25th anniversary as a waypoint on our journey with F7 and will continue pressing ahead to even greater things. So please keep supporting us going forward. That's Nomura saying that. Interesting. So they got a bunch of other projects coming in the future. Focus on Final Fantasy VII, not just the mobile game First Soldier, which is a battle royale Final Fantasy VII game. Not just, we're eventually going to get Remake Part 2, and not just like Ever Crisis coming out later this year, which apparently is going to go through the entire FF7 like story and lore, starting with, I think, the F7 game. But you would think it would start with Zack. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Interesting stuff here. There was also something else I had checked up, or that I want to read and go over just to check. So let me minimize that. This is from VGC. So Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is planned for a reveal this year, producer confirms. So I've not read this yet. I was hearing about this on Twitter. So speaking during an anniversary event held to celebrate Final Fantasy VII's 25th anniversary in Japan today, FF7's original director, Yoshinori Kitase, said it was his intention to reveal the first details on its remake sequel during the anniversary year. Nice. Okay. We had a hard, not we had, we are hard at work on Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, so please look forward to that. In addition, with regards to the long-awaited Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, there will be more information this year if we can, he said in translation for VGC. Asked if he was sure the sequel would be revealed this year, Katase replied, well, yeah, we just started the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, so we want to celebrate and get fans excited. So within the next 12 months, we want to share some information. Look forward to more information. So it sounds like he's like, yeah, mofos, we got some more news and details coming about Part 2 Remake. Just hold tight. It's coming this year because we want to do it for the 25th anniversary year. You know, he's just like, just chill out, man. It's coming. All right. You know, we're just not going to do it, you know, all haphazardly. It sounds like, you know, it's something just like, man, chill out. We're going to, you know, we're going to talk about it. A few details have been revealed on FF7 Remake Part 2 so far, other than the confirmation last year that, Naoki, the co-director of FF7 Remake Part 1, will take over full directing duties. Okay. That's Hamaguchi. Okay. So he's taking full control as far as director duties. For the follow-up, as Nomura takes on a broader creative direction position, which we kind of already knew about. Nomura has also said that compared to last year's integrated re-release, that Part 2 will make more use of PlayStation 5's unique hardware features. Oh, shit. Yes, please. Oh, yes, please. So it sounds like Sony is gonna have this locked down, the FF7 Remake series, as a console exclusive, at least for the first year or two. It just sounds like they're just gonna keep doing that. Because he didn't say nothing about PC, he didn't say nothing about Xbox. Only PS5. Meaning that more than likely it's not gonna be a cross-gen title. More than likely we'll get an announcement this later this year about it, a teaser of some kind, some small details. I would imagine maybe next year at the earliest it would release, but I don't know, man. I still see 2024. I still think it's 2024, but I could be wrong. We might get shocked, and it could come out 2023 because I know development started on it not too long after, if not before, the release of FF7 Remake Part 1. You know, and I think they confirmed that actually either was it in 2019 or 2020. It was something like that where they're already kind of working on it sort of before the release of the first game or something like that, or not too long after. And it's about to be the second year, 2 years after FF7 Remake has come out. So yeah, give it like 3 to 4 years for the sequel. Hopefully the third one, if they do a trilogy out of this, doesn't take much longer than that. But the way things are going, honestly, the third one might end up being on PlayStation 6. Because 2020, we're not going to get this till either, I think, 2024. And then, you know, if things keep going the way they are as far as the trends will not, I don't know if PS5 and Xbox Series X are going to like last longer than 7 years. Who knows? But by 2027 or 2028, we could be getting a new PlayStation 6, new Xbox console. Like, it'd be a new console generation by then. And therefore, they may, now 3 could be a cross-gen child at that point where it comes on PS5 and PS6. So who knows? But the fact that you're mainly talking about the PS5 here, unique hardware features, oh man, utilize SSD and other cool shits that the PS5 can do. I'm all for it. I'm hyped. I'm excited. It's a euphoria of hypeness, you know, in a way. Square Enix acknowledged Final Fantasy VII's Japanese 25th anniversary on Monday with the publication of the new anniversary logo. Also a message to fans confirming that more projects based on F7 are in the works. And I'm just wondering what else they could be doing, you know? Hey, Stuffy. As far as other projects, like, I would love it if Part 2 had, like, DLC similar to the Yuffie DLC where we play as Vincent. You know, we kind of get his sort of like origin story a little bit, or kind of his part in the story. Or if not Vincent, then maybe Zack. You know, I feel like, or if they don't include Zack's in the Part 2 version, like sort of a backstory thing where you play as Zack for a bit, then have it as DLC. You know, maybe they'll do both. I don't know. That'd be fucking amazing. Um, but you know, it's curious what other projects they could be coming up with. It could be movies, you know, anime. I don't know. They got future Final Fantasy VII projects coming. They're treating this like as Final Fantasy VII is bigger than just the core franchise. Like, obviously, you know, there's been several Final Fantasy games, but it feels like the way they're treating this and loving this game, they're trying to treat it as its own thing. You know, even though none of the games technically are sequels to each other, with a few exceptions like FF10 and FF10-2 and 13 through that 13 trilogy. It's like that. Um, but it feels like F7 is like definitely the well, it's not doesn't feel like it. It is. It is the biggest Final Fantasy game of all time made. It sells the most. It's the most talked about. It's the most popular, hands down. Even though my personal all-time favorite is Final Fantasy X, mainly because that's the first one I really got into and I fully beat before I beat any of the other Final Fantasy games. But FF7 is still up there as a top tier one. It's not my number one, but it's my number two. So I know that may upset some people, but everybody's entitled to their opinion on what they like. But that's how I feel about it. And I love Remake. I do love Remake. It's just like probably my favorite modern day RPG game in recent memory. Um, let's see what else here. Ever Crisis is a chapter structured single player game covering the whole of the FF7 timeline, including the events of the original game and FF7 compilation titles. So yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to handle that though, as far as if they're going to start off in where, you know, Remake starts off like the original game. Are they going to start there, or will they start off playing as Zack first? Because technically, they've, as far as what happens to Zack and everything, happens first before the actual main game. I don't know. I don't know. But this is freaking awesome. I love it. I'm excited. Oh my god, even Sora here. I didn't even see this earlier. Even Sora is like happy 25th anniversary. I mean, I guess that makes sense, you know, because they have been in, you know, games together and they are in Smash Brothers and are fighting in that. And yeah. So that makes a lot of sense there. But I'm hyped. Let's see. I think we've already read this. Yeah, this is from the tweeters. I don't know what's more to say about this, but you know, I'm happy for this. I'm glad this game exists. I'm glad it's had long support for the past quarter of a century. I'm looking forward to what they're going to be bringing. Man, just can't wait. Now, the stuff I want to end off on talking about with this is, you know, I agree with quite a bit of the other like content creators out there and streamers like that you know have expressed their opinions as far as like I feel like we're not going to hear anything as far as a teaser announcement about part 2 until after Forspoken's out and FF16 is out. We already got Forspoken coming in May. Hopefully, if they can get FF16 out this year, I'm thinking maybe summertime at the earliest, fall at the latest, but fall like September, Octoberish. And then what they might end up doing is utilize the Game Awards. That's my big brain theory, my big brain idea of what they might do. I know they said if they can, got to remember what they said, what he said there, quoting, if they can, they will reveal it, announce something this year, FF7 Remake Part 2 related. Even if it's just I'm taking it as like a teaser of sorts or some type of details, announcement, official announcement, you know, something like that. I feel like Game Awards would make the most sense because with how the development's been going for FF16, they've already confirmed that they're already kind of like half a year behind or a year behind on that. So, and I think that's due to the pandemic and just things are trying to, you know, work around with all that. Because F16 sounds like it should have been out last year based on that statement, not this year. So, and because of that, and there's still things that are in flux, things can change, you know. We don't know for sure what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. But hopefully, you know, it can be released in a smooth way, not too many issues. I am excited for FF16. I know it's going to be a console exclusive to PlayStation. And I think it's only going to be on PS5, at least for the first year or so, you know, depending on how these exclusive deals work. And Sony's on it with locking down Final Fantasy games, you know. So we'll see. I would hope summertime, like, Forspoken's in May, maybe get F16 a couple months later at the earliest, hopefully, or September. September would kind of make sense a little bit, maybe because of Tokyo Game Shows that month. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I don't know because also I would think Sony's trying to get their big exclusive God of War in the fall out in October or November. So I feel like they want to get F16 out before God of War. That's another thing to consider. And we still have unannounced exclusives coming later this year from both Sony and Microsoft. So we'll see what happens. I could be right, I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts. And thanks for watching.